Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president again.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 20.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8 electoral votes, in Indiana with its 11 electoral votes, West Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, D-Day Cobra, and we have a lot to cover tonight. Holy shit, it's been a wild day. I wish I could have been live a little bit earlier to cover all of this, but unfortunately, real life gets in the way a lot of times. I had a lot of work to do on my truck, so got that out of the way, but we're here. We're ready to rock and roll. And man, I don't even know where to start, but I think we're just going to start at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, where Trump just absolutely just annihilated these weirdos. It's true comedy, what we witnessed today. You've got then Trump goes and does a rally in Pennsylvania where he basically, he's already exposed Kamala Harris for the liar and the manipulator that she is today at this Black Journalist Convention, which is an absolute shit show. They basically tried to pose a ton of gotcha questions to Trump. They hate Trump. They can't stand his guts. So Trump did what Trump does. He won the room and he got all the sound bites. And he called Kamala Harris out for being an identity politics manipulator. And now everybody's showing old videos of her proving Trump to be right. And now you've got the machine trying to lie against President Trump. They're going to be scrubbing all of these videos. It's been wild, to say the least. The derangement, the Trump derangement syndrome is like nothing I have ever seen. It's like nothing I've ever seen. It really is astonishing. It really is. Jessica Lindstrom is very adamant about Cookiegate. So I'm going to break it down for you real quick. Jessica says, Cookiegate. On Sunday, I asked people which cookie I should make, chocolate chip or homemade Oreos. Then Shaka Zulu got offended. There was no oatmeal. So that's how it all started. That's pretty great. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. Jessica was adamant about that. She's like, I got to let people know what's going on. And then we got Sally Ito with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Jessica, for the update. Chocolate chip cookies are so much better than oatmeal cookies anyway. So it's really all there is to it. Cam says, look up I Believe in Joe Hendry video that so that you too can believe in Joe Hendry. All right, I need to look at that because everybody was talking about it. Kevin Cron with a gifted membership. Thank you. Jeremy is gay says, that's all. Jared the Americans has recently hit 100 subs. Let's collab, Jeremy. Hey, congratulations, brother. That's awesome, man. First 100 is always very tough. Always. Fantastic Knox says Hawk Tua on cackling Kamala all day, every day. Hail. Jesse MacArthur with 5 gifted memberships. Look at that. The party's getting started early. We are rocking and rolling with the gifted memberships and the super chats. Thank you guys. I tried to get Kick working tonight. It failed again. Something to do with StreamYards. I don't know what it is, but at least Rumble's working. And at least Twitter's working. So there you go. Okay, so we need to go ahead, and this was wild. This press conference was wild. I have not seen this in its entirety. I watched a lot of the clips, and I tried to tune in live, but I had other stuff going on. But we're just going to watch it in its entirety because this was wild. Okay. They hate President Trump. Okay. They hate President Trump so bad. Lower lips. Is it lick it now and not liquor? It used to be with the hard R. Now it's with an ET. With 10 get the memberships. Thank you. Appreciate that. Spirian with the super sticker. Thank you, Spirian. Bird Up says oatmeal cookies are the God Emperor of cookies. I completely disagree. 1000%. All right, here we go.
To inform our reporting, but also to help voters understand the choices that they face in a consequential and historic election year. NABJ has partnered with PolitiFact to fact check this conversation in real time. You can access that feed on social media.
Interesting how you never do that with the Democrats.
Using the hashtag NABJ fact check. Again, the hashtag is NABJ fact check. We have a lot to get to, and we do not want to waste any time. So let's bring out the former president of the United States, the Republican nominee for president, former President Donald Trump.
What's this music? What is this music?
Thank you. Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe Black district attorneys. You've attacked Black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking Black supporters to vote for you, why should Black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network.
Oh, man. Joe with the MAGA red. $99.99, $100. Holy shit. Joe, thank you. Holy crap.
Terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit.
Yes.
I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever.
Did I say Joe? I meant John. I'm sorry.
workers.
I'm sorry. John Underwood. Sorry. John, don't get a refund, please. Don't get a refund. I'm sorry. He just started super chatting me. I'm just now recognizing his name. John Underwood. I will never get this wrong again. You have my word. Jeremy can't read. JMNZZ450. Picture it. An illustration of Hillary and Kamala with a hole through a glass ceiling, but looking up horrified as Trump stands on it with his Gucci shoes covering the hole. Trump, Vance, keeping women in their place since 2016. Thoughts? Too much? It ain't too much for me, okay? It ain't too much for me. But you know that would trigger them big time. Speaking of people that are not triggered, John says it's okay. Holy crap. Thank you, John. I do apologize, but I appreciate it. Holy crap. He just sent another $100 and says it's okay. Woo! Thank you, JMNZZ. I agree, though. Like, I would 100% take that, but I think that would trigger way too many people. I think that would trigger way too many of them.
And black entrepreneurs done so much. And, and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke. And I saved them and I gave them long-term financing and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that.
Get him, Trump.
And let me go a step further. I was invited here and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something
Mr.
was
President,
wrong.
I would love
think
you
it's
can
a
answer
very
the question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe that
answered the
black voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been.
Oh my God. Trump is a savage. Holy crap. He's right. Everything he says is right. Everything. Like, he walks into this hostile environment. They were the ones that made him late. The equipment was failing, and he still's like, I'm going to show up. Kamala Joe didn't show up, but I'm going to show up. But you know who else showed up? Willie freaking Will with a proper 199. Holy shit. Willie Will in the house. Now, I didn't mess up Willie Will's name like Beardo did, okay? Personally, thank you, Willie Will. I've personally never messed anyone's name up in a super chat ever. Okay. I've never messed up Munchie Ninja's chat. Okay. I've never messed his name up ever. It's never happened. There's Munchie Ninja. Jeremy misreading John's name wasn't that bad. Mine, on the other hand. Woo! Woo! Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Narrator Jeremy did, in fact, get it wrong again. What's up? That's Horror Amarada, the abysmal critic in the house. You guys are too much already. Holy crap.
The best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act.
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace. I really do.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a Black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She is always
But you know
identified
what?
as a Black woman.
That is a fucking lie. That is a lie. You ABC News fake news reporter. That is a lie. Listen to what she said, and I'm about to prove it wrong right now.
Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She is always
But you know
identified
what?
as a Black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
Black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a Black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think,
that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I
Republicans
really
have
don't
said?
know. I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are plenty. I know this lady right over there, Harris, is a fantastic person who just interviewed me at length. And we had a great interview, I think, and I heard you got very good ratings on that.
Well, you told me it was a long.
Now, she said Kamala has always identified as a Black woman. Oh, really? Well, I tweeted this out, and I'm like, don't share this. Please don't share this.
Becoming the first Indian American woman to be nominated as a vice presidential candidate in America. In a recent event, the Democratic vice presidential nominee took a trip down memory lane, recalling her mother's journey from India to America. Now, her mother, Shamala Gopalan, was born in Chennai and immigrated to America to study at UC Berkeley. The Indian origin senator also talked about her trips to India and her mother's attempts to instill a love of good idli in her. Listen.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. When my mother, Shamala, stepped off the plane in California at 19 years old, she didn't have much in the way of belongings, but she carried with her lessons from back home. Growing up, my mother would take my sister, Maya, and me back to what was then called Madras, because she wanted us to understand where she had come from and where we had ancestry. And of course, she always wanted to instill in us.
So, of course, President Trump was right. He's always right. So there you go.
This one of your life. So we had a good discussion. Look, I want to talk about why you're here today. I mean, it is not lost on us how divided we are as a country. And as you were coming today, we really got to see that we were divided along the lines of race, along the lines of gender. And there is this question of, in this moment where we are, why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are Black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking Black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a Black job, sir?
A Black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right. Dude, I love this man so much, dude.
job is black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people. I have a feeling it's much more than that. And everybody's been seeing what's happened. The first group of people, the black population, is affected most by that, and Kamala is allowing it to happen. She's the border czar. She's the worst border czar in the history of the world. There's never been a border czar like this. She's never even essentially been. She said she was there once, but not the right part of the border. So she was a border czar. She's done a horrible job. These people are coming into our country, and they're taking black jobs and Hispanic jobs, and frankly, they're taking union jobs. Unions are being very badly affected by all of the millions of people that are pouring into our country. And one thing, as we discussed, many of these people are coming in from mental institutions, from prisons, from jails. They're gang members in other countries. Other countries are setting loose their prisoners. They're opening up their prisons and their mental institutions, and they're taking their bad people, drug dealers, gang members, and they're bringing them into the United States. And by the way, their crime rate is going down, and our crime rate is going to be a disaster.
Mr. President, I want to get into how you address some of the issues with black communities. And I say that plural because we live in communities of color that are different. We're not all the same. We don't vote the same. We don't think the same.
True.
It's not monolithic. So as you come here today, I want to talk about something.
We got Samuel for $49.99 says Kamala wasn't supposed to be, or was supposed to be there. They wanted a political hit job for an hour without having her needing to answer any questions. Hers would also be softball questions that contrast poorly with his, making them look awful optically as well. 1,000%. 1,000%. That's the whole point behind it. And listen, I know there's a lot of fake momentum for Kamala Harris right now. I'm telling you right now, the more this woman talks, the more that she speaks, the more that people find out about her, the worse it's going to be for her. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that. John says, oh, snap. And he just says that with a MAGA red $100 super chat. Thank you, John, not Joe, John.
That bursts, and this is the weight of the inflation on this country right now. The nonprofit Money Management International recently released data from its mid-year analysis that we have found a 52% rise in people who are seeking counseling for being in credit debt. They're paying for food that is sky high on their credit cards, and now they can't pay that off. The credit counseling nonprofit MMI, as I said, is saying now that they've seen surges that they haven't seen since we were in a pandemic of people in financial trouble. Much of that falls on the shoulders of single moms, single black moms, when you look statistically. Yeah. How do you turn it around? What's your plan for the black community when it comes to money?
So, first of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment, because I guess, this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's...
God dang it. Did he just blame the woman in blue? Did I hear that correctly? Holy shit.
Comes to money.
So, first of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment, because I guess, this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you, but I can hear every other word. It's very difficult, actually. But so I don't know if they can fix it or do something with it, but I'll do the best I can with it. The inflation is absolutely destroying our middle class, our working class, virtually every class. Inflation is a disaster in our country. Inflation is a country buster. It breaks every country. And we had, in my opinion, the worst inflation we've had. They say it's 58 years, but I think it's much more than that. It's been devastating. And if you just take a look at a lot of things they don't include, like interest rates. Interest rates went from 2.4% to 10%, and you can't get the money. People can't buy houses. They no longer have the American dream. Young people, young black people, they don't have the American dream anymore. They can't buy a house. They can't borrow the money because of the cost of the money. They can't buy it because of the cost of housing, because of the cost to build it, because of inflation. Inflation is a disaster, and it's destroying our country, and it's destroying the black community probably as much or
So what do
more
you do?
than any
What's your plan?
You know what we have to do? We have to bring down the cost of energy, and that's going to bring down the cost of inflation. This was all started with a bad energy policy by Joe Biden. By the way, just if I might, I was running against a man named Biden. You probably saw that. And he was losing very badly in the polls. And then he had a rather bad debate. I would say it was a bad debate. I would say it was one of the worst debates in history. And his poll numbers crashed. And instead of saying, you know, let's keep going and maybe something happens the other way, they said, oh, we're going to replace him. Let's just replace him. That's like you're in a fight. A prize fighter's in a fight. He's not doing what you say, let's bring in another fighter. So our whole campaign was steered toward him. And now we have to steer it to him. But ultimately, it's the same because they have bad policy. They have policies of open borders, unbelievable open borders, horrible energy policies. They want to get rid of, as you say, gasoline in cars. They want to get rid of oil. They want to get rid of efficient heating.
Mr. President.
Environmentally, what they're doing is killing our country. They're absolutely destroying our country. But the inflation is the thing that's hurting the black worker, the black population, and every other population within our country. Inflation is the worst it's been, I think, in over 100 years. And they'll fact check it. They'll say it's only 58. Whatever it may be, they don't add all the numbers. They don't add the really bad numbers, and you can check that too. But inflation, Harris, is absolutely destroying this country and the people in our country. Yes,
Mr. President, can I ask you another question
Yes,
that is also impacting Black Americans?
and that's very clear now. Good.
I'm sorry?
It's very clear. I hear you.
Okay. So Sonia Massey, someone from Illinois, an unarmed Black woman, was shot the other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. The deputy has since been charged with murder. You've said police would get immunity from prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity?
I don't think
Immunity?
I don't know if he said blanketly that they would have immunity. I think that there's a certain circumstance. Like I think I know which story they're talking about. If that's the one where there was like a boiling water or something like that, that was really fucking bad. That was really bad. It was really bad. It's not good at all.
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something, and it didn't look good to me. It didn't look good to me. Are you talking with the water, right?
Yes.
Well,
yeah. Okay.
police-
Yeah.
I mean, police unions are not bad.
If anybody's seen that, I mean, I don't know if there's been more details come out, but based on the footage that we had, that shit was bad. Like that cop should, again, I'm going to keep it open in case there's like, maybe if there was a weapon or something, but based on what I saw, that body cam footage, that was just straight up murder. That's what that was. That was just straight up murder. There is no justifying that cop's action.
Attacking this person either.
Okay.
But again, why would?
They're going to be charging the officer? I guess they're charging the officer.
So why should he receive immunity?
Well, he might not. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens. I'm talking about people that are much different cases than that. We need people to protect ourselves. And by the way, in Chicago, as an example, a few weeks ago, July 4th weekend, they had 117 shootings and 17 deaths. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. We need to have our police officers have the respect and dignity back. In this particular case, I saw something that didn't look good to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
So can you get a little more specific back to the immunity question? Who would make those changes?
Well, right.
Some people are saying that there was video of her actually like tossing boiling water back at him. I didn't see that. I mean, he's the one that instructed her to go turn the boiling water off. You know what I mean? He instructed her to go to the water. So I don't know. I would need to see more information on it. But it's, like I said, based on what I saw, but if there's more information, I'll gladly like to see that. But I haven't seen any further footage of it. But her going to the boiling water was a direct order from the officer. But anyway, with that said, I don't recall Trump just saying all police officers should get immunity. I've never, ever heard that. Willie Will for $100. Immunity is a process. It's not automatic. Exactly. It's not like these clowns think that like, it's just like when Trump got when the Supreme Court, gave the immunity, they seem to think that, oh, that means Trump can go murder people. No, it doesn't. What the hell are you talking about? It's talking about the official act as president, which by the letter of the law, you know who that Supreme Court ruling protects more than President Trump? Any other president that's gotten us into a war, like George W. Bush, like Barack Obama. That immunity case that the Supreme Court ruled on, that was better for every other president not named Donald Trump. These idiots don't understand due process or anything like that. Thank you, Willie Will. I appreciate it, brother.
Right now, for the most part, people are protected by their unions, by their police unions, or by their police departments. But I'm saying if I felt, or if a group of people would feel that somebody was being unfairly prosecuted because the person did a good job maybe with crime or made a mistake, an innocent mistake. There's a big difference between being a bad person and making an innocent mistake. But if somebody made an innocent mistake, I would want to help that person.
What would those exceptions be? What would determine
You go after
that?
somebody and it's a very close call and it's very dangerous.
How the fuck is he supposed to answer this question? This is fucking retarded. It's absolutely retarded. What a stupid question.
Dangerous. And they have the policeman's life and woman is a very difficult thing because sometimes you have less than a second to make a life and death decision, and sometimes very bad decisions are made. They're not made from an evil standpoint, but they're made from the standpoint of they made a mistake.
So I want to follow up really quickly. I find it interesting because you do talk about reining in prosecutors, especially when it comes to prosecutors that are prosecuting you. Why doesn't that skepticism apply to law enforcement?
Well, I've been prosecuted because I'm a political opponent of two people that have weaponized our justice system. I've been prosecuted. I just won the big case in Florida. Everyone said that was the biggest case. That was the most difficult case. And I just won it. Now, Biden has a similar case, except much worse. I was protected under the Presidential Records Act. Biden wasn't because he wasn't president at the time. And he had 50 years worth of documents. And they ruled that he was incompetent and therefore he shouldn't stand trial. And I said, isn't that something? He's incompetent and he can't stand trial, and yet he can be president. Isn't that nice?
Mr. President,
but they released him on the basis that he was incompetent. They said he had no memory and he was a nice old guy, but he had no memory, and therefore we're not going to prosecute him. I won the case, and it got very little publicity. I didn't notice ABC doing any publicity on it, George.
We covered you extensively, sir. I'd love to move over on to different topics.
I didn't notice you do any publicity on it at all. I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a political opponent. I have another one where I have a hostile judge.
We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different topics.
No, excuse you. You're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
If we can move on now to the state of the race, sir, I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance.
Holy shit. Somebody just said, I'm not showing up live for them. So I don't know. I'm probably not doing myself any favors by using this thumbnail because clearly big tech does not like this thumbnail, but that's exactly why I'm using it. We've got to listen to Trump one more time because that was fantastic.
This is your right.
This is an attack on a political opponent. I have another one where I have a hostile judge.
We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different topics.
No, excuse you. You're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
If we can move on now to the state of the race, sir, I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance is your running mate. He's had a lot of controversy lately, and I want to read you a few things that he has said in the past. He said the Democrats running the country are a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. He's not talking here about how great it is to be a parent. He's attacking what he says are the choices people are making to not have children. Did you know that he had these views about people who do not have children before you picked him to be your running mate? And do you agree with him?
No, I know this. He is very family oriented, and he thinks family is a great thing. That doesn't mean he thinks that if you don't have a family, it's not. I know people with families. I know people with great families. I know people with very troubled families. And I also know people with no families. They didn't meet the right person. Things happen. You go through life, you don't meet the right person.
But he's not just talking about families here.
And
he also
some of
says that
those
people that don't have children should get less votes than
That's
those
all right.
that do.
I'm just speaking for myself.
Is that your
and I
campaign
think
position?
I'm speaking for him too. He strongly believes in family, but I know people with great families. I know people with not great families that don't have a family. And the people without the family are far better. They're superior in many cases, okay? He's not saying they're not. What he's saying is that he thinks the family experience is a very important thing. It's a very good thing. But that doesn't mean that if you grow up and you grow older and you don't meet somebody that would be wonderful to meet and would have been good, that that's a bad thing. He's not saying that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is so the hatred of JD Vance, specifically because he's Donald Trump's running mate. They've been throwing a lot of stuff out there, and I've even said I'm not the biggest fan of JD Vance personally. He's definitely not a great vice presidential pick, in my opinion. With that said, the attacks on him have been wildly ridiculous. They've been taking everything he's been saying out of context, like they do with Trump. And I mean, it's just so simple to see what they're doing with him, and they're doing it with this case right here. By the way, how can you take someone saying, create a family, build a family, raise a family, have kids, raise your kids the right way, and that's a negative to these fucking freaks?
My interpretation, you'll have to ask him actually, but my interpretation is he's strongly family oriented, but that doesn't mean if you don't have a family, there's something wrong with it.
Just one last point and then we'll move on. Just one of the bedrock principles of American life is one person, one vote. Senator J.D. Vance has suggested that someone who has children should have more votes than a person who does not have children. I just want to be clear here. Is that the position of your campaign?
Well, no, but it's not something I have ever heard before. I can tell you this. Right now you have illegal aliens coming into our country, many from prisons and many from mental institutions, and they want to give them votes. I don't think they should have votes. They came into our country illegally, and they're taking the vote away from all of the people in this room that have been here a long time, that have worked hard, that in many cases, and you'll see this happening, if I'm not elected, you're going to see it happen. If I am, you're not going to have any problem. But you're going to see it happening a long time. You're going to see the people in this room and people outside of this room are going to be losing their jobs to people that have come into this country illegally.
Mr. President, can we stay with just kind of the state of the race right now? Because I felt like that vice president question, candidate question was right in there with that. So let's talk about J.D. Vance for a little bit. He's had some stumbles out of the gate. I don't know if you're hearing what we hear as reporters, but it's been a tough couple of weeks for him. Why did you choose J.D. Vance?
Why
did you choose him? And I'm having a hard time hearing too.
I know
everybody out there can, but it's hard.
I'll tell you why. I chose him because he's a very strong believer in work and the working man and woman, and especially the working man and woman who have been treated very unfairly, because you have many of them in this room. But you have many of those people, they were treated very unfairly. They worked very hard and they were treated unfairly. He wrote the book that became a bestseller. The movie became a smash hit. He's a very smart guy without the benefit of having a family that has contacts, like a father that was well connected. He got into Yale Law School.
Have you ever, the last time I remember this, and honestly, Pence didn't get this much criticism as J.D. Vance. So that tells me that they're actually terrified of J.D. Vance. Now, it's all because he's Donald Trump's running mate, but Mike Pence did not get this treatment. They have been going after J.D. Vance big time. And if anything, that is the best thing that you can, that's the best compliment that J.D. Vance can get right now, is that the machine fucking hates this guy big time. I mean, absolutely hates him. And so to me, that's the best compliment so far.
He graduated in 2 years from Ohio State, summa cum laude. I mean, you take a look at, his career has been an amazing career. he started off at a level with a difficult family situation, very difficult with the mother and the father and everything else. He ends up going to Yale Law School and was one of the top students, became the head of the Law Journal. I mean, that's an amazing thing. He's a 4-year, he was in the military with great distinction for 4 years, got out, went into business, became successful in business, very successful in business, actually, did public offerings and other things. And I have to believe in that. I mean, he's somebody that was born in a rough situation. Most of the people know that situation because it was very well documented in his book. And I have a lot of respect for somebody that can get into Yale and become one of the best students in Yale, that meets a young woman at Yale who was also outstanding, and they get married, they have a beautiful family. But he had he's made himself an amazing life. He then goes to Ohio, lives in Ohio, and he had my endorsement. That helped. But he wins the Senate. He becomes a United States Senator. So he's a United States Senator. So, and so, Harris, like I respect you for your success, I respect people for their success.
The reason I asked the question is because the last time you and I sat and talked was the day that you were shot. We'd been together for much of that day. You left to go to Butler, Pennsylvania, and we didn't know what was next.
Yeah.
And 2 days after that,
I cannot understand your microphone.
I know
is so
it is
muffled.
really hard for me to
it's
understand
just, I can understand you perfectly.
because she's closer.
I can understand you.
Happy to hear that, sir.
But I can't
Really happy to hear
understand.
Holy crap,
Harris'
dude.
microphone
I know
so
it is
muffled.
really hard for me
I
to
mean, it's
understand
just, I can understand you perfectly.
because she's closer.
Dude, I love this guy so freaking much.
What was next?
Yeah.
And
I'm
2 days
sorry.
after that,
I cannot understand your microphone.
I know
is so
it is
muffled.
really hard for me
I
to
mean, it's
understand
just, I can understand you perfectly.
because she's closer.
I can understand you.
Happy to hear that, sir.
But I can't
Really happy to hear
understand,
that.
Harris,
I have a few more questions.
because of the distance, and the mics are really in lousy shape, but I cannot
Thank you, Great
understand
Tang.
Are you asking a question?
what you're saying.
Willie Will with 20 gifted memberships. Great Tank with a gifted membership. Thank you guys for the gifted memberships. Willie Will is on it tonight. Thank you, Willie Will.
So what I wanted to say was the last time we spoke, you said some words that were prophetic because I asked you who you wanted to choose for vice president.
Yeah.
And you said normally it really wouldn't matter what they would bring. You know, you choose somebody that you think has a future, that sort of thing. But you said these words 3.5 hours before an attempted assassination on your life. You told me that bad things happen, Harris, and that's why this decision is important this time. Bad things happen. You said it twice. When you look at J.D. Vance, is he ready on day one?
Does he what?
Ready on day one, if he has to be.
I've always had great respect for him, and for the other candidates too. But I will say this, and I think this is well documented. Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact. You have 2 or 3 days where there's a lot of commotion as to who, like you're having it on the Democrat side, who it's going to be. And then that dies down, and it's all about the presidential pick. Virtually never has it mattered. Maybe Lyndon Johnson mattered for different reasons of what we're talking about, not for vote reasons, but for political reasons, other political reasons. But historically, the choice of a vice president makes no difference. You're voting for the president, and
Benny Johnson saw that, so I retweeted it when he did that. So damn funny.
you can have a vice president who's outstanding in every way, and I think JD is. I think that all of them would have been, but you're not voting that way. You're voting for the president. You're voting for me. If you like me, I'm going to win. If you don't like me, I'm not going to win.
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in.
JD Vance?
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in. To your point and to Rachel's point, he, has a lot of opinions about childless women like myself or divorced people like yourself. Do you think, well, I mean, my point is here.
But at least it was said in a friendly manner.
My point is, do you think the Republican Party is getting a little bit too judgy about people's lives when you think about abortion or when you think about
The Republican Party? Are you asking if the Republican Party is getting too judgy about people's lives? Are you fucking kidding me? The left-wing lunatics out there will melt down over any fucking thing that anyone says about misgendering someone or using the wrong fucking pronouns. Holy shit, these people are insane.
What J.D. Vance is saying.
I don't think, look, I think that the Democrat Party is really the one that has the problem. I think they're radical on abortion because they're allowing abortion in the 9th month. They're allowing the death.
I think it's
they're
about
allowing
freedom,
the
right?
death of a baby after the baby is born, based on
that
governor
is
of
illegal
Virginia.
in every state in the country.
Based on the governor of Virginia,
Executing a
they're
baby
allowing
in
the
every
death
state
of the
in the country
baby
is illegal.
after it's born.
It's a
They're
crime.
allowing abortions in the 8th and 9th month.
Well, Democrats have denied.
I think they're right. And I think the Republican Party is actually much less. I think I've made them much less radical, perhaps. But the Republican Party, what we're doing is bringing it back to the states where everybody wanted it. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservative, everybody wanted abortion brought back. They didn't want Roe v. Wade in the federal government. They wanted it, everybody.
But the majority of Americans oppose Roe v. Wade being overturned.
They
Multiple
don't know
polls have
about
showed that,
this.
sir.
Right now, they're voting. It brought it back to the states. Now, I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Ronald Reagan believed with rape, incest, life of the mother. I do. I think most people do. I think most Republicans do also. But if you take a look, right now they're doing, it's an amazing thing, out of the federal government, it's in states, and people are voting. And I will say, Ohio is, let's call it a more liberal version, has been approved. Kansas, the same thing, a little bit surprising to a lot of people. But the people are now voting. And it's taking this issue that's been going on for 52 years and has torn our country apart, and it's giving it to the people to vote on. And they're voting. And many states have already voted. Others are in the process of voting. And it's bringing it back to the people and a vote of the people. And it's not at all radical. And again, you have to follow your heart. I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Most people believe in the 3 exceptions. Most Republicans believe in the exceptions. But they don't want to see an abortion in the 9th month or the 8th month. Almost everybody agrees to that. And they certainly don't want to see, in the case of the governor of Virginia, the former governor, I might add, who said, we set the baby aside and then we decide what to do. Meaning, what do? We execute the baby. That's a radical, horrible position. And some people want that. I don't want it. Most people don't.
Thank you. Can I just pivot really quickly to another question about, you brought up health, Harris. You're an active man. We see you golfing all the time, but if you win, you'll still be president at 82, which is older than Biden is right now.
But not mentally. Look, mentally.
Here's the question.
He's shot. But most people, I know many people in their 80s and their 90s that are in great shape. Some of our greatest leaders. You look at throughout the world history, the greatest leaders, some of the greatest leaders in the world were in their 80s.
But here's the question. Would you consider stepping down if you felt that your health was declining? Or would you?
Oh, absolutely.
And who would
I think I'd know.
How would you make that decision?
I think I'd know. Look, if I came onto a stage like this and I got treated so rudely as this woman treated
Oh my
me,
goodness.
and I'm fine with it because she was very rude, sir. Very rude. That wasn't a question. She
Sir,
didn't ask me a question. She gave a statement. That wasn't a question.
I repeated your statement, sir, actually.
You said you would. You would.
Oh, absolutely. If I thought that I was failing in some way, I want people to be sharp. I'll go a step further. I want anybody running for president to take an aptitude test, to take a cognitive test. I think it's a great idea. And I took 2 of them and I aced them.
Well,
I took 2 of them. But let me ask you, I would like to have people running for president, and I don't mean because they're 75 or 85. I think anybody running, I'd like to do it. People say it's not constitutional. I would like to have something passed where you can do it. I think we should know. I mean, I've watched what's happened in the last couple of years under this gentleman, and our country is a mess. We have inflation. We have the millions of people falling in. We have Afghanistan, which was the worst, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. what he has done to our country, and her too, what they've done to our country. She has been a horrible vice president.
They are so, especially the blue suit, so disrespectful, bro. It's unbelievable how much disrespect is going on, and he's going to sit there and take it because he's the Chad in chief.
Considered the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but would you consider taking the cognitive test?
Mr. President,
I would love to
and
do
make
it
it public.
Well, I've already taken 2 of them, but I'll do it again.
Mr. President, how do you intend to?
I suggested, Harris, that let's take one. I said, Joe and I will go and take a cognitive test. Now, I'd do it with her too. I would do it with her also. You know what? She failed her law exam. She didn't pass her law exam, so maybe she wouldn't pass the cognitive test.
Mr. President,
are you saying she wouldn't pass? Just to be clear,
I'm just giving you the facts.
To be clear, you don't think
how do you intend?
She didn't pass her bar exam, and she didn't think she would pass it, and she didn't think she was going to ever pass it. And I don't know what happened. Maybe she passed it.
She did pass it.
There's a man over here. I think he must work.
Mr. President, I would love to ask you about January 6th. You've called yourself the candidate of law and order. When Time Magazine asked you if you would consider pardoning all the rioters, you said, yes, absolutely.
Sure.
You called them patriots.
So, wait a minute. So
140 police
he did. He stole her water. He stole her water. His water is right there, and he stole her water.
said order. When Time
No, okay. Well, wait. Is that another one? No, that's the glass. So he took her water. Love Dog says Trump is taking these bitches to task, and it's a beautiful thing to see. It really is, man. Holy crap.
Magazine 6. You've called yourself the candidate of law and order.
Yeah.
When Time Magazine asked you if you would consider pardoning all the rioters, you said, yes, absolutely.
Sure.
You called them patriots. 140 police officers were assaulted that day. Their injuries included broken bones. At least one officer lost an eye. One had 2 cracked ribs, 2 smashed spinal discs. Another had a stroke. Were the people who assaulted those 140 officers, including those I just mentioned, patriots who deserve pardons?
Well, let me bring it back to modern day. Like about 5 days ago, we had an attack on the Capitol, a horrible attack on the Capitol. You saw the people that were protesting and spraying these incredible monuments, bells, lions, all these magnificent limestone and granite with red paint, red spray paint that will never actually come off, especially on the limestone. It will never, I'm a builder, I know about this stuff. It'll never, you'll see it in 100 years from now. They viciously attacked our government. They fought with police. They fought with them much more openly than I saw on January 6th. What's going to happen to those people? What's going to happen to the people in Portland that destroyed that city?
But sir, my question is on those.
What's going to happen to
my
the people
question is
that
on
tried
those
to
rioters who assaulted officers.
You have to.
He's fucking making the point that there's all these other scenarios that aren't politically tied to Trump. So therefore, all these people that are burning cities to the ground, that are rioting, that were causing all of this mayhem, they're far worse than January 6th. Nobody has been held accountable for that. But January 6th was the worst day since 9/11, all because these weirdos could tie it to Trump. That's the point he's making.
Would you pardon
What's
those
going to
people?
happen? Oh, absolutely, I would.
You
If
would
they're
pardon
innocent-
those-
If they're innocent, I would pardon them.
They've been convicted.
And by the way, the Supreme Court just well, they were convicted by a very tough system. How come the people that tried to burn down Minneapolis, how come the people that took over a large percentage of Seattle, how come nothing happened to them? How come the people
sir, we're
that,
talking about
how
people
come
that
the
were
people-
seen
no,
beating
no. We're
officers
talking
with
about
flag poles,
so
dragging them
wait a
down the
minute.
stairs. They're on
Wait a minute. Now you care about police officers? I wish Trump would say that. Wait, now you care about police officers being assaulted? Now that's your concern? Suddenly now you care about police officers? Get the fuck out of here.
Have you seen that video, sir?
Oh, really? Well,
You would pardon those rioters?
They shot a young lady in the face who was protesting. They shot her in the face. You know, nobody died that day. You do know that. But people died in Seattle. Nobody died, but people died in
140
Minneapolis. You know, people died in
assaulted that
Minneapolis,
day.
and nothing happens, and nobody ever talks, and nothing happens to those people. But you went after the J6 people with a vengeance. And I'll tell you what about the cops that were, and I'm all for the police, as you know, but what about the police that are ushering everybody into the Capitol? Go in, go in, go in. What about that? Look, nothing is perfect in life, but you have people from Minneapolis, you have people just from 5 days ago in Washington, D.C., they were having fistfights and fighting with the police. They were spraying and destroying. They were desecrating our monuments in Washington, D.C. 5 days ago, and nothing happened to them. And you can't have two systems of justice. That's why they went after me as a political opponent, because they felt they couldn't win without doing that. And we're going to win our cases, and we're going to be vindicated. But I have to spend a lot of time on that and money. That's what they want. After the election, they won't care. Although in my case, I think they probably will, because the hatred is pretty deep. But I'll tell you, they went after me as a political opponent. That's never happened in our country before, and it sets a terrible, terrible precedent.
What do you do on day one if you win? What's your first thing?
What do? I close the border. And I do two things, because I can do a lot of things simultaneously. I close the border. We don't want people coming in. We want people to come in, Harris, but they have to be vetted. They have to be checked. They have to come in legally. I want people to come into our country, but they have to be vetted. They have to be checked. So when you say, what do I do? That, and I drill, baby, drill. I bring energy way down. I bring interest rates down. I bring inflation way down, so people can buy bacon again, so people can buy a ham sandwich again, so that people can go to a restaurant and afford it. Because right now, people can't buy food. Your grocery bills are up.
What if he would have said so people could buy fried chicken again?
40, 50, 60%, right? She's agreeing to me. Oh, she's agreeing. Thank you. I like you very much.
Mr. President, I think we are.
But it's true. Your grocery bills are up. And then they're mandating that you buy an all-electric car. You know, Elon Musk endorsed me, and he's a friend of mine. He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. But I'm against everybody having an electric car, okay? I'm very much against that. You have to be able to, if you want a hybrid or if you want a gasoline-propelled car. But, you know, we have more liquid gold, gasoline, oil, under our feet than any other country. More than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, more than any other country. I want to use it. I want to use what we have. I want to bring down prices, bring down costs, and I also have to stop the invasion. And remember, they're taking your jobs. These people coming in are taking your jobs.
Project 2025.
I think we have to leave it there by the Trump team.
All right.
So leave it. That is the last word. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump, for coming today and joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
They've been telling us.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, very much. Great
Thank
honor.
you, Mr. President.
NABJ will email about details regarding the conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris in September. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
What an absolute shit show that was. And Trump dominated the situation, as he always does. Holy crap, dude. That was fantastic. So there you have it right there. And yeah, so there's been a lot of discussion around, you know, this whole thing with Kamala Harris and all of that. But there's all these videos of, like, look at this reaction right here. This is the Kamala HQ account posted this.
I mean, in talking to people, you read some of the reporting that I got. I was sitting in the room and people were stunned, right? I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes. People were stunned. People were gasping. There were some people who were shouting back at him, saying, that's a lie. So the room, the atmosphere, I think, was already sort of tense because
they were cheering him. They were cheering him and they were laughing at him. Trump commands the fucking room everywhere he goes. They loved him there. They were having fun with him there. These people will lie no matter what. Here's Harris Faulkner.
What the nation has seen is this incredible buildup with journalists here reportedly upset because Donald Trump was coming. Some of them, and some of them we really hadn't heard from. So what I loved about what you couldn't see today was how much of that audience was enjoying the moment of hearing from a candidate they might not always agree with. And that is the whole point. That is the growth of journalism, to be able to listen and question those things that you may not know about because you don't often talk to that person or those people. That was the goal here. So for all of that pushback, young journalists that I'm talking to after the event are saying, well, we're glad he's here. What the nation has seen is this incredible buildup.
Exactly. And you're seeing a lot of that from across the board right now. But this whole thing was just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I got to sneeze. Hang on just a minute. All right, there we go. Not going to get memed on that one. Not going to get memed on that one because Hailstorm will meme the hell out of me on that if I don't catch it. Now you've got these clowns, like, listen to this clown right here. Listen. So Al Sharpton says that Donald Trump attended the Black Journalist Conference to please white supremacists. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Al Sharpton says that Donald Trump attended the Black Journalist Conference to please white supremacists.
He came to do what he did. He came to use them as a backboard to score with the MAGA crowd, to say, I'm one of y'all. I will go to their own conference and do everything but call them the N-word. And I will try and act like their candidate, their hero, this strong Black woman they're rallying around. She didn't even say she was Black until a little while ago. When did we not know she was Black? When she was elected the first Black district attorney of San Francisco? Or maybe when she was elected the first Black attorney general.
Oh, whoa, wait, just a minute there. Well, let's actually look at that. Let's actually look at that really quick. Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, can you repeat what you just said? Let's hear Al Sharpton one more time.
Did we not know she was Black when she was elected the first Black district attorney of San Francisco? Or maybe when she was elected the first Black attorney general of the state of California. Or maybe we missed it when we said she was the only Black woman in the U.S. Senate.
Is that right, Al? Is that right? Okay. Huh. Well, look at there. From the Associated Press. California's Kamala Harris becomes the first Indian American U.S. Senator. It's almost like Donald Trump was right. That is from the Associated Press. And Cat Turd actually destroyed them because the Associated Press said Donald Trump falsely suggested Kamala Harris has misled voters about her race as the former president appeared before the National Association of Black Journalists in Chicago Wednesday. Cat Turd tweeted that and said, 67,000 likes from the same fucking, the same AP that's saying that Donald Trump lied about it reported on this. This is what I'm saying, man. We're dealing with people that will fucking lie about the most obvious shit ever. They will lie. They don't care. They'll say whatever the fuck they can say because they're not held accountable and they can get away with it. This is what Trump is up against. This is what he's up against. So Cat Turd getting 67,000 likes and 14,000 retweets, and I'm one of those retweets. Everybody helping out is huge. So whoever you're out there following, supporting, liking, commenting, retweeting them, it matters. All right? You got to get the truth out, man, because they are on a full court press right now to destroy Donald Trump. That is what their goal is right now with clowns like this right here.
District Attorney of San Francisco, or maybe when she was elected the first Black attorney general of the state of California, Or maybe we missed it when we said she was the only black woman in the U.S. Senate or the only black woman to run for vice president. Why play into this illusionary picture when we can deal with who the painter of the picture is? Donald Trump saw the NABJ as a useful platform for him to show that he will stand up to blacks and call us whatever he wants to call us and attack our people in their face, and they ain't gonna do anything about it. That's
He doesn't show up. You say he hates black people and he's racist. He does show up. They go on attack modes. He stands his ground and he takes up for himself, and you call him racist. You can't win with identity politics, fucking weirdos. You can't do it. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. People are telling me to look at Judge Joe Brown's video. Let me see if I can find it. Judge Joe Brown. Let's see. Is this on Twitter? Is that what I'm looking for? I mean, I see one with him and all right, here we go. I think this is the one you guys are talking about. Is this the one you're talking about right here? Is this it? Yes or no? Is this the one? Let me know if that's it. That's it? Okay, here we go.
But I got to ask you about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit. I was in California. She lacked professional competence, and she worked on it by hiking up her hemline when she needed influence rather than researching. She's always tried to do the casting couch to get where she wants. Now, the problem is that will get somebody to a certain level quickly, but you can't get past that level if you don't have competence and talent. So my thing about it is if I'm crude about it, in this city years ago, I used to represent a whole bunch of pimps and hoes, and I know a hoe when I see one. And I say this, I don't care, women, you do what you want to do if you want to have recreational sex, but when you do the casting couch or anything else for professional purposes to get paid or advance, you a hoe. And she's old hoe. And the problem is what is she supposed to do? Somebody, one of her sycophant slaves comes up and unwraps her in a carpet naked at Putin's feet, and he says, oh, yeah, I'm Julius Caesar. He said, no, ho, I got better stuff here already. Plus, I don't want you anyway, you old woman. Get on up, you know. Or Xi Jinping, is he supposed to be impressed? She's doing word salad. Well, we're here today because China and the U.S. are here today, and that's why we have to agree on what we're doing here today. Like, fool, what did you just say? You know, did you say anything?
Holy crap, dude. That's getting a retweet. That's getting a retweet. Here we go.
But I gotta ask you about
right
Kamala
there.
Harris. How you feel about
that? Is fantastic. I'm gonna give him a follow. Here we go. Here, this is when he was on with Kwame Brown.
Kamala Harris. Yes, you do.
Who?
Mrs. Imhoff, Vice President of the United States, who goes by her maiden name,
Miss Kamala?
Kamala Harris. She's got 2 Jewish children she adopted. She married a Jewish husband who's got a interesting.
I'm scared to talk about Kamala Harris. I'll let you have that one.
She's a witch, and she is a corrupt witch. She's been corrupt her whole life, and she fucked her way to the top.
Yes.
They used to detail this witch in the LA Times with her sexual escapades. She fucked damn near everybody trying to get a piece to be a frat hoe when she was at Howard. And she ain't black. You know, I ain't got to do with this, Miss Harris. Nah, I mean, well, don't, but she's I'm just, I don't know. I'm just listening. Well, here's the thing. I actually met her father in Jamaica. I was the guest, sat at the Governor General's table, and he was a professor.
Okay.
And he represents as a Hindu Brahmin. He admittedly has some Irish in him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The person that Kamala Harris is saying is her black great-grandmother is, in fact, according to Daddy, in an article he wrote, which has now been cleaned up on the online edition of that magazine,
Mm-hmm.
was a Hindu house servant, not
Mm-hmm.
a black woman. So her mother is listed on her birth certificate as Caucasian, even though she's dark. But she's a Hindu Brahmin Tamil caste. Now, interestingly, do you know what the anthropological name is for what Kamala Harris and her parents are?
Mm-mm. No, sir.
Indo hyphen Aryan. See, they are the original Aryans, but Adolf Hitler and his boys told a big lie. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryans from the far north did not exist, never existed. They were the dark.
Kwame Brown is like so nervous right now. Kwame Brown's like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Dark to swarthy to paper bag brown, dark-eyed, dark, coarse-haired Indo-Aryans from India.
Mm-hmm.
Those actually settled Germany, and some other people came in from the steppes that lightened everything up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that lie is being told. So you get the Aryan Brotherhood, the Aryan Nation. What's going on is the Aryans they claim to be one with look like Queen Harris. You know, I guess what she did is, you know, LA Times ranked her out. I was out in LA, you know, when she was really
I can see this article.
Before that, she got out and they ran a thing that when she went to law school, Willie Brown, that was his mistress. They used to have cards.
I heard about that though.
Where they had one I loved. It was a scene Willie Brown sitting behind a desk with his tongue hang out, and Camilla is raising up after doing him, you know. And they ran this thing where he got her a job with a medical supply company that did business with the city of San Francisco. He got her a gig for 15 hours a week. For $72,000 a year, and you have to understand that was 35 years ago. And then when they carried a thing where she moved up to 20 hours a week, she getting paid $120,000 for a part-time gig, and he bought her a 750i BMW. She was earning that.
Dude, there's got to be some videos. There's got to be. Somebody has something. I'm just saying.
So then she had this thing where she was trying to get on with this big firm. They wouldn't hire, so she started screwing one of your buddies, an NBA player who was their biggest client. So she got hired. So then they ran a scandal sheet on her where she was trying to get on with the DA's office. So she started screwing the deputy chief DA to get on.
So what do you see? I mean, you have a lot of knowledge. As you can see, you got the chat going crazy. You have knowledge that span back 30, 40 years. So what do you
50.
see? 50 years. Yeah. Sorry about that.
So I graduated from college more than a half century ago. So it's been
crazy.
a while.
That's crazy. So do you see it getting worse with the media propaganda, or do you see things changing? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So you think it's getting worse?
What happens is you've got some jackbooted, goop-stepping fascists who strong arm and take over the government. Then they take over the press, impose censorship, and they propagandize to stay in power. You had some pink panty wearing fascists who, instead of goose stepping, they switched and twitched. They took over the media, propagandized the people. Now they've taken over the government, and they are attempting to gut the Bill of Rights so they can impose censorship on you. Like,
dude, Judge Joe Brown ain't messing around. Holy crap. Like that was some knowledge right there. Let's see if he's got anything else over here.
Yeah, she does.
Who?
That's the same one. That's the one we just watched. What does Kamala Harris have in her purse? Let's see here.
Live Log TV. If Hillary has hot sauce in her purse, what does Kamala have in hers? JJB barbecue sauce?
No, KY. She got a tube of KY.
Dude, okay, how many times I'm gonna have to hear the whole jokes from you until she lose?
Hey, it's a home thing. I used to represent a goodly percentage of the pimps and hoes in Memphis, where they had some real pimps and hoes.
So okay, but what if she pulls out a Judge Joe Brown barbecue sauce? Because they're gonna film him at a soul food restaurant. She gonna have to stop in Tennessee, probably even Memphis. So what if she pull out your sauce at a barbecue sauce restaurant?
Somebody snatch it from my ass. I don't want the association.
All right.
Leave my sauce alone. Hands off of the sauce.
That was a good
Keep your funky ass with your funky greens in your bathtub. That's probably why you have such an odor about you, as you've been bathing with greens.
What she got in her purse again?
What's that?
What you said she have in her purse?
A tube of KY.
All right. Harlem Mill question.
Hillary had hot sauce and Tom Queen had KY jelly, lubricant.
Judge Joe Brown's all new barbecue.
Holy crap. Judge Joe Brown is awesome. I remember seeing the Kwame Brown stuff with Joe Brown, but I don't remember if I saw the Kamala part. By the way, Kamala Harris says she's not Indian, right? She's black, right? Well, look at here.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe. Yes. Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I...
What's that? One more time? One more time? What'd you say? What'd you say?
It's an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our thing we're so excited about to have you running for president. Yeah. So we're both Indian, but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food.
Okay, so
So there you go. Amazing. Amazing how that works, isn't it? Let me get to a couple super chats really quick. I appreciate you guys being patient with me. Let's see here. There was another video. There's a lot more to get into for sure. I mean, holy shit, man. Today is, oh yeah, like this one right here. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on. Right here.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
I don't feel no ways tired.
God, I despise these. I just despise them. Alan Tanassi says, what is the over-under on person of color women Trump? He has 0 his body count. I bet it's huge. He is not a racist. Hey, Alan Tanassi, good to see you. I think you dropped a 10 earlier. I've got to go back and find that one because it's not showing up, but good to see you here, brother. Let's see. Savvy's Crusty Feet says, come swallow Harris 2024. River Miles, Trump doesn't need to carry hot sauce. VJ the Vigilant says that the song was Gorillas, Tomorrow Comes Today. Let's see here. There's that John Underwood, 99.99. Thank you. There's JMNZZ's 50. There's John's another 99. Jules says Trump walking out the Gorillas wasn't on my bingo card. Lance says Jeremy went to the Biden School of Reading. Not that bad. Fantastic vs. Knox says Jeremy can't read good. Better than Beardo, though. Better than Beardo. There's Willie Will's proper 199. Thank you, Willie Will. Quinn says, finally got the creeper shirt in. I love when Trump called Kamala out for claiming she was Indian for so long, but now is claiming to be black. She's a clown. The Kamala stuff, I'm telling you, man, the more that she talks and the more that people find out about her, the worse it's going to be for her. I guarantee it. Kevin Cross says, Jeremy cannot read because he is from Alabama. Let's make Jeremy a fig today with all of the super chats and gifties. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Alex of the Mountains says California's for Trump 2024 and more 3-time voter Trump here. Here, more Californians are seeing the light every day. 199, hold the line, dude. I hope people are waking up, man. I really do. VJ the Vigilant says you got to have a good soft bakery oatmeal raisin cookie. I'm chocolate chip all the way. Chocolate chip all the way. Let's see. Dark Ray Breeze Vicious says, picture it. Bree with her red, white, and blue 199 jersey on her back. Sweeney rolls up in her limo full of her dude dress 1v1. Who you got? Sweeney all day long. River Miles says, I just thought Montel was into Indian women. Donald J. Trump. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Eric John Pizza Artist says, all Trump needed was an apple like the Canadian guy. Trey Gordon, it seems like Kamala took a page out of the leftist handbook. If you can change your gender, you can change your race. Sad but true. Zinni Biscuit says Kamala's like Bubba Wallace, sometimes white, sometimes black. That is a perfect example. Bubba Wallace ruined NASCAR. Blake Barrett says Donald J. Trump should have called the interview late and J. NRT Uncle says, I can tell when a woman ate corn the long way to get in her position a mile away. And Kamala is one of them. Thank you. There's John's 99.99 for another one. John has been on fire tonight. Thank you, John. Lean back, have a snack, take a nap. Says, Jeremy, you're pretty good at your black job. Just wanted to say that. You have a black job. Thank you. East Coast Social Boy says, don't worry, Kamala Toe makes up for it with sucking. Eric Case, it's kind of magic. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's kind of magic. I see you. I see you in the chat right now. So everybody wish It's Kind of Magic a happy birthday. There we go. Jason J says Trump needs to start a masterclass on how to roast people with facts. Ministry of Wrong Thinks says someone photoshopped the infamous Trump flag pic to put smiles on the Secret Service agents and Facebook hid it. But they also censored the original because it is similar to the one that was fake. Dead serious. I heard about that. Insanity. Bluegrass Berserker says, I loved watching this. He humiliated them. It was a lot of fun. James Garrett for 2. Thank you. Ministry of Wrong Things says it's fixed now, but I have the receipts. It happened. Yeah, I know. I saw it. We reported on it when it happened. Willie Will with another $100. Thank you, Willie Will. Rye the Guy says, where is BLM at when it comes to black people killing black people in Chicago? Nothing but crickets from Al Sharpton and BLM, and you're never going to hear it. You're welcome. It's Kind of Magic. You're never going to hear anything from if there's not, again, as I've said this for years, but non-white people, their race and their gender and their sexual orientation and all of that shit, it only exists to be a political narrative. If they can't build a political narrative around someone's race and gender and sexual orientation, then they just don't acknowledge them. That's what the left does. Grand Potato says, damn it, YouTube, and it's autofill. I meant black. No problem, man. No problem. Archer Blade says, JD Vance Refrigeration. There's Willie Will's 20 gifted memberships. Keck Lord says, yo, did you check Trump's water bottle move? He tightened the lid on her. Yeah, that was so good. Nick Hudson They despise those who achieve the American dream through hard work and responsibility. Disproves their miserable, oppressed view of America. Agreed. Mark of Reality on Rumble says, I like the fact that Vance will fight back against the press too. I also like the fact that he is outside the uniparty. Unlike Pence, I liked JD's Meemaw story about finding 19 loaded handguns. Listen, I'm 100% open to warming up to JD Vance. I don't love the pick right now, but I obviously trust Trump, and I'm hoping Trump made the right decision. So I'm hoping JD Vance turns out to be a great vice president. Clova 5 says, if you want more information on the police shooting and the boiling water, watch Nate the Lawyer's video on YouTube. Has the most info available and the best legal breakdown I've seen so far. Nate the Lawyer's great. He has a great channel. Z Herb says, they never asked Biden if his age and health was suitable for running, but now it's convenient they care. 1,000%. 1,000%. Dragon Dan says, if you want to upset the white dudes for Harris feminists, remind them that they have to be nice to ugly women too, not just the good looking women. No, that's true. JM Elliott 1986 says, we need a cackling Kamala emoji. Honestly, I don't want to give her that much credibility. Thank you for the 20. I don't want her to have an emoji on here. God, she's so unlikable. The more people find out about her, I'm telling you, it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. Let's see. We've got I of Meme says, 2 nights ago, I tried telling a Koof subreddit they should touch grass. 15 minutes later, I get banned without explanation. Mass disabling event. My ass. They are the most retarded people in history. Yeah, I mean, look, I personally, I don't use Reddit at all. I don't use Reddit. All I know about Reddit is Reddit hates my guts, and they hate geeks and gamers big time. Modelicious says, people who support human trafficking, sodomy in public near kids, genital mutilation, deleting preborn, furries, gender confusion, high taxes, less protection, and actual segregation think JD Vance is weird. Hey, man. I wasn't prepared for the hatred of JD Vance. They really do hate him, though. They really, really do. Eric Heffelfinger for 10 says, after years of people jamming themselves down her throat, she's getting revenge by jamming herself down everyone else's throat. Sad but true, actually. Love Dogs says, Jeremy, you were right about Biden dropping out. Going to trust your camel toe prediction. Love ya, even if you're a fig. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, my Biden prediction turned out to be spot on. I said he was going to drop out. He did drop out. Now, remember, I did say that I didn't think Kamala would ultimately be the nominee. I think that it does look like she probably will be the nominee at this point in time. When's the DNC? We're like, what, 2 weeks away now? 2 or 3 weeks away? But things can change quickly. Again, we had a 10-day span where President Trump was shot and Joe Biden stepped down. Like, holy shit. So I'm not convinced she's going to be the nominee still. I'm just not. I'm not predicting that she won't be. I'm just saying I'm not convinced that she will be the nominee yet. I think that they are testing the waters right now, trying to see. Ultimately, this is all about Trump, and that's it. Trump, Trump, Trump. They don't care about Kamala Harris. They didn't care about Joe Biden. They care about making sure that the person that they put into this position can beat Donald Trump. That's what they care about. That's all they care about. And if they see that Kamala is not tracking as well as they need her to, they will replace her as well. They absolutely will. Same people that are telling me that ain't possible are the same people that are telling me that Joe Biden wasn't stepping down. I had people telling me for a while, Joe Biden's not stepping down, Jeremy. It's too late. It's too late. Look what happened. So I'm not convinced she's going to be the nominee yet. We shall see. We shall see. If her polling numbers are terrible the week before the DNC, they will replace her. They will replace her with Hillary Clinton. 1,000% they will. So I guess we're just going to have to see right now. But let's see. A Game on Fireman, thank you, becoming a new member. Slain Hope says they can't stop Teflon Don, so they are going for Vance. John Carta says, Jeremy, I saw you had 199 Snake Pit vinyl stickers for sale, but I can't find them. Do you still have them? I want to get some for my car. Hail the 199. Yes. Well, I'm working on getting those back up for sale. So we did have them like at meetups and stuff, but I would like to get them on the 221B website. So I'll work on that. Rye the Guy says Al Sharpton is a race master baiter. 1000%. Okay, there's a couple of I apologize because I love the audience so much. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put something far better looking on screen than what you've been looking at. This is my apologies. Okay, I'm gonna put something on screen far better looking than what you've been looking at. So here you go. All right, there. Are you happy, chat? Is everyone happy? My apologies. You wanted something better looking than what you were looking at. And I'm here to take care of the audience. I love our audience. We have a great audience here. And I would never want to upset you guys or anything like that. So there you go. So I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. So, you're welcome. No problem at all. And what are you guys mad? What are you guys upset about? What did I do? Why are you mad? Something wrong? Something happened? Okay, hang on. I think I got something for you. Hang on. All right. How about there? How about that? That better? That better? Okay, sorry. My apologies. My apologies. I saw Gary was in the chat. So there you go. All right. So everybody's happy again now. Look at everybody. They're all so happy. So, you guys you just got to give me a little time. I'll work it out. Work it out. Okay. So no problem. My apologies. Gary, you still here? What did Gary say? I saw him say something about Kathleen Kennedy, but I'm not sure exactly. So, let me see here. I'm trying to make the chat happy. Chat's really, really pissed at me right now. I didn't do anything wrong. All right. Hang on. There's a particular picture I'm looking for, but I'm having trouble finding it. Does that one work? No. All these fucking pictures. All right. Anyway, there you go. You got Alina Habba right there. Quit yelling at me. Okay. We got to get back on point here. How about some Sweeney? Listen, this is a respectable show. All right. We don't, objectifying women is wrong. Okay, guys. I would never, ever, ever, ever encourage objectifying women. I would never do that. But I do have a pretty cool picture to show you, okay? Look at that right there. That is awesome. Holy crap. Look at that picture of Trump. That is badass. But of course, the media will tell us that there's no one there. The media will tell us there's no one there, okay? That is a badass picture right there, though. It really is. All right, Jeremy saying that makes him even more gay. All right, we've got Lelouch Libs says Kamala is only 12% black, about the same as her approval rating. Holy shit. That's an amazing super chat. That's great. Let's see. A game non-fireman says a white pill at a non-patriot says that donors are already pulling money out of Kamala's campaign after the Megan Thee Stallion twerking rally. Yeah, so yesterday, I believe was that in Georgia, Kamala Harris had this big rally, and was it Megan Thee Stallion? Is that who it was? What's up, Rodimus Primal? You'll have to play that video of Hogan I sent you. Okay, I'll look at it. So anyway, was it Megan Thee Stallion? Is that who it was? If I'm not mistaken. So they had Megan Thee Stallion show up, and they created all of this energy and all of this stuff, and all these people were partying and super, super excited. And then suddenly everyone starts leaving when Megan Thee Stallion leaves and Kamala Harris comes up on stage. Now, again, there were people there, so I don't want anyone to think that there weren't people there, because there clearly were people there, but it wasn't. It's all manufactured. This whole thing is manufactured. Okay. Now, there was this. I didn't see it, but I told you guys I was going to react to it. James O'Keefe had a video that he was releasing yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to react to it yesterday, so we're going to react to it right now. This is James O'Keefe from OMG, who I met at the RNC, and James O'Keefe actually watched my videos on Geeks and Gamers covering his Disney tapes story. So I haven't seen this yet, so we're going to react to this for the first time, going undercover, all right, to talk about the Kamala Harris situation. So James O'Keefe says, breaking, DNC manager, I don't think Kamala Harris would win, admits to making empty promises to donors. I don't think Kamala Harris would win this year, reveals Joyce I don't know what that says. It's a him, compliance manager for the Democratic National Convention and Kamala Harris campaign. So we're going to check this out. Let's hear what
But I like Kamala Harris, but I don't think she'd win this year.
Meet Joyce DeSears, him, the compliance manager to the DNC.
What's your official title?
Compliance manager.
Oh my God, he sounds like he has pronouns. Oh my God, dude. What is it? So is this a chick that's pretending to be a dude? I can't keep up anymore. Is this a chick pretending to be a dude, or is it a dude? I don't understand how this shit works anymore, bro. I really don't.
Meet Joyce DeSears, him, the compliance manager to the DNC.
What's your official title?
Compliance manager. My specific job, like the end all be all of my job, is reporting to the government how much the DNC raised and where it spent its money.
Saying that she doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of.
She's weirdly unpopular.
Wait a minute.
She doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of because
I'm so fucking confused right now. Is this a dude or is this a chick? I don't know what this thing is.
she's vice president.
Joyce DeSears revealed how the DNC gains donations and what tactics they use, including just telling donors what they want them to hear.
When I was doing finance, like fundraising, we just call it finance and politics, you kind of tell a donor what they want to hear.
Which is what?
Whatever they want to hear.
DeSears admits to the OMG citizen journalist American Swiper, you kind of tell a donor just what they want to hear.
You just put on a performance for them, a little show, right?
You just put on a performance for them, a little show, right?
So basically, we're just feeding into their fantasy.
Yeah. Which, you ever met a rich person? They want their fantasy be, fed into.
So we just take their money and we smile and nod our head.
Dude, this is creepy as hell, bro. Like, this is creepy. This person is a freak, an absolute freak.
But we don't really take their opinions into our strategy.
100%.
So some donors are holding back on writing the checks because they think that the campaign's not doing well. Why would they think that?
I don't know, a lot of people think we should attack Trump more.
We should just attack Trump more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like our strategy has always been just take their money and tell them what they want to hear?
Yeah, that's politics.
There's always been an artifice that pervades our politics in this country, with people never willing to say out loud what the truth is.
You know, we respect the grift around here, so we're going to let the grift play out as we always do.
And the political marketing industry, masquerading as journalists, participate in that lie. But every once in a while, we manage to catch them being honest. And when we do, they tell you the truth, what they really think, what they really believe, what they won't say in public for reasons that are themselves important. And they tell you things like this.
And what's your official title?
Compliance manager.
You're the only person.
Yeah. I don't manage anyone.
I mean, you manage compliance.
I
That's
manage
huge,
compliance,
right? I mean,
but I
like
don't-
there's a lot of legality involved, I
I
imagine.
can't say like I manage the compliance department because
Yeah.
I don't. There's no department to manage. I manage me.
And remind me what compliance means again?
It's pretty much an accounting function. It's kind of like,
Dude, I fucking hate listening to this fucking weirdo talk. It's bothering me. It's fucking bothering me. This is fucking weird. God bless the person that has to sit here and can you imagine the smell of this thing being this close to you? Could you imagine being in the same vicinity as this freak? Like, I'm sitting here right now. I'm not bullshitting. I can't tell if this is a dude or a chick. I don't know. I have no idea. James O'Keefe called it a she, but the weirdo has the he, him pronouns. I don't know what this thing is.
where accounting and legal meet. So
you report?
Yeah, my specific job, like the end all be all of my job, is reporting to the government how much the
You know what? That's right. Chat, you're correct. I see it. I see Jake is in here now. This is Jake right here. This is Jake. That's this weirdo right here. This is Jake.
DNC raised and where it spent its money. And Joe Biden's campaign right now because they don't have anyone doing that for them. So
Also, you're doing it for both the DNC and the Biden campaign.
Yeah.
Meet Joyce DeSears, he, him, the compliance manager to the DNC in the former Biden campaign, now the Kamala Harris campaign. DeSears, as stated on his LinkedIn, is a, quote, political operations expert with experience in people and culture, financial operations, and compliance.
Jesus Christ, dude. What is happening? Carl, for a first-time super chatter for 20, says, I have to say that I'm not 100% behind Trump. I'm 1,000% behind Trump. Let's make America great again. Let's freaking go. Thank you. First super chat. Look at that. And 1,000% behind Trump. And John Underwood with a MAGA red $100 again. Holy crap. Thank you. So Jake is the person that we're watching right now. Okay, on screen. So just so you know, okay. These are called fake jobs, by the way. Okay, fake jobs. They are invented for freaks that have no social skills whatsoever. Essentially, what this comes down to is companies like people they can manipulate. They like weak-minded people that have a mental disability that they can manipulate and do whatever they make them do whatever they want. So they invent fake jobs to give these weirdos a position. They get their DEI scores up. And they can manipulate these people. That's why they want people to continue to lean into their mental illnesses. That's why they hate MAGA. They hate MAGA because MAGA represents hardworking Americans doing their job, building their lives for themselves, creating a family, raising their family the way they want to raise their family, and not being overly reliant upon the government. That's what MAGA represents. That's why they hate MAGA. They want people that rely on the government, that need the government, that feel like they have to have the government to back them up. That's the type of people they want. So that's why they're always telling people to embrace your mental illness. Embrace it. They're trying to make your mental illness even worse. That's the whole point behind what they are doing. So they love freaks like this.
DeSears divulged further into what his role description is for the DNC, the former Biden campaign, and now the Kamala Harris campaign. In today's rapidly evolving healthcare landscape and mysterious shortages of medical supplies, being proactive about your health is...
And the Wellness Company also sponsors us, but use James O'Keefe's code if you're interested based on his ad read right here.
Paramount. That's why our OMG supporters, the Wellness Company, is proud to introduce the ultimate first aid emergency kit, meticulously crafted by its chief medical board to support life-saving readiness. When my team and I are out in the field, we always carry our TWC first aid emergency kit because in an emergency, every second counts. The upgraded kit includes essential items like epinephrine for anaphylactic reactions, several common prescription medications, and many vital first aid supplies. Additionally, it features a comprehensive first aid emergency guidebook with over 40 pages of life-saving information. And you can easily...
I see all the shit talking in the chat right now, man. This is a wild party here, okay? Hail to the Rumble chat. We've got nearly 400 people on Rumble as well, so thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Easily replenish your supply at any time. Every kit purchased is eligible for medication replenishments for up to 2 years after purchase. Order your first aid kit now and save 15% by using code OMG for a savings of $60 and savings of over $100 when paired with a purchase of the medical emergency kit. Whether it's ensuring access to medications, personal protective equipment, or other essentials, our commitment is to empower individuals to take control.
Somebody in the chat said everyone wants money. Yes. Shocking. People that run businesses want money. I know, it's this crazy concept. Especially people that are on the right that don't get big DEI paydays. So you gotta take the people that support you
of their health journey. So order your first aid emergency kit now by going to twc.health/OMG. That's twc.health/OMG. That's twc.health/OMG. Let's dive into our two-part series investigation of the Democratic National Committee and the newly established Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. Americans across the country are just a few short months away from electing a new president of the United States in what has already been an insane campaign cycle, and the election is just around the corner. Here at OMG, we decided to investigate and found ourselves looking into the Democratic National Committee, the Joe Biden campaign, and now the Kamala Harris presidential campaign. Let's dive right in. Joyce DeSears, the DNC compliance manager, met our OMG American Swiper on...
What the fuck is that? The bio for this freak, ruining lives is so 2019. I will enrich your life. Perma banned from Florida, now seeking situationships in DC. I love mixology, philosophy, and complicated board games. ENM, if you're cool, you can meet my boyfriend. What?
On the dating app Bumble, where they met on multiple...
Get it away! Oh, I didn't mean to rewind it. Oh, that scared me. All right, hang on. I don't want to see that. That was a little scary. All right. God dang it. Here we go.
Where they met on multiple occasions. He spoke to the journalist about the DNC, Vice President Harris, President Joe Biden, First Lady Jill Biden. Recently, Vice President Kamala Harris has launched her campaign for President of the United States. What does the DNC compliance manager, Joyce DeSears, him think of Kamala running? Well, he confided to our OMG journalist about the fears of the Vice President losing to Donald Trump, revealing Kamala Harris has no accomplishments to run on, saying, quote, I don't think Kamala Harris would win this year, and saying that she doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of. He even goes so far as to say that Kamala Harris won't win even if she ran in 2028.
I like Kamala Harris, but I don't think she'd win this year.
Why?
She's weirdly unpopular. I think a lot of that is racism and misogyny.
Oh my God. These people can vote. Understand that. These people can vote. That should terrify you. That should absolutely terrify you. Good God.
And the vice president's so easy to attack, right? She doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of because she's vice president. She doesn't make laws. Her job is to become president if Joe Biden does. And a lot of the time, the vice president, whoever they are, gets sent to do the hard stuff. So, yeah.
So why do you think she's constantly getting attacked?
honestly, if you look at the stuff people attack her with, it is a bunch of racist, sexist bullshit. Like, it's just stuff you wouldn't say about a man. People call her ditzy.
It's truly shocking what people admit when you use a hidden camera. The undercover cameras you've seen us use in the past are now available for sale.
I just can't, like, you know, they did a poll for the Democrats. 30% of Democrats believed that the Trump assassination attempt was staged by the Trump campaign. Like, think about how dumb you have to be. Think about how detached from reality you have to be in order to believe something like that. But that's where we are. That's what they believe. You're not dealing with reality at that point in time. So there's no policy, there's no there's no fact or anything like that that's going to sway these people's minds. They are so fucking far gone that it's absolutely insane.
Sale. Go to our website, o'keefemediagroup.com, click on Covert Camera Store, go get the footage, send it to us, and we'll pay you for it. Joyce DeSears, he, him, is saying what everyone else is apparently thinking. Even Vice President Harris's own Democratic employees are acknowledging she cannot win due to her unpopularity and lack of accomplishments. Recall the video that I did undercover, sitting across the table from someone in the executive office of the White House.
Same thing with Kamala Harris. Is she's not popular, but you can't remove the first black lady to be vice president from the goddamn presidential ticket. She can't keep black staff. They quit on her in mass.
Just a short time ago, Vice President Kamala Harris launched her presidential bid,
and she is very unpopular, but this just shows you how effective the machine is. The machine is effective because right now I'm gonna go off on a conspiracy theory here. Conspiracy theory. So my theory here is, this is just my opinion, YouTube. Okay, I'm just giving my opinion. I have nothing to base this off of. I'm just giving my opinion. Okay. That's all I'm doing, is giving my opinion. I believe that they were going to replace Joe Biden after the DNC. Yes, I know that sounds crazy, but I believe that they wanted to replace him after the DNC. But because President Trump got shot, like, you don't just end up with like Trump getting shot and then a few days later Biden steps down. That's not a coincidence at all. One thing created the other. One thing created the other. So I believe that they wanted Joe Biden to step down after the debate, after the DNC. Now, whoever the choice would be, whether that's Kamala Harris, whether that's Hillary Clinton, whether that's Big Mike, whoever, the less time that they have to deal with the scrutiny of being the nominee, the better that is for the Democratic machine. But because of the Trump failed assassination attempt, that changed everything for them. That changed everything. So I just think that now they have been put in a bind because they're bumped. Like, look at the machine and what the machine has done with Kamala Harris in just a short amount of time. She went from being the most unpopular vice president, a person that couldn't even make it to the Iowa caucuses when she was trying to run for president. She couldn't even qualify. She was so fucking unlikable. Now they've got like music celebrities and all this energy surrounding her, and the media is pushing her and all of this, that for a short period of time, they're going to elevate her, but it will not last. It will not last.
Raised $81 million in 24 hours, according to an Axios report. Joyce DeSears revealed how the DNC gains donations and what tactics they use, including just telling donors what they want them to hear and playing into what DeSears calls Democratic donors' fantasies in order to get more money.
When I was doing finance, like fundraising, we just call it finance in politics, you kind of tell a donor what they want to hear.
Which is what?
Whatever they want to hear. They tell you what they want to hear, and then they say, "What do you think?"
Give me an example.
we really need to spend more attacking Trump.
Sure.
You need to get up on stage and you need to talk about all the things Trump is saying. And then you say, I completely agree. And President Biden is going to be doing that. Here's 3 examples where he did it. And if we have 25K, we can spend money on making sure that happens. Can you give 25K? And he's like, I don't know. And you're like, well, Biden actually has an event coming up. I could relay your concerns to him. You know what? Yeah, I'll give 50K. Okay. But then donor says, you're doing way too many TV ads, like TV doesn't change votes, nobody watches cable anymore. Well, that's why we're hiring so many organizers in all these states. The organizers cost money. And so just a single organizer's salary is $41,000 a year. And we got to hire a lot if we really want to beat Trump and be competitive and say, what state are you from again? Florida? We need to really have a lot of organizers if we want to beat Trump in Florida. In fact, we're opening up a field office right there in Tampa. It's going to cost a lot. Can you give 100K?
Dang, you're good.
I'm
ready to write a check to you.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand. So this is I still don't know what this is. Is this a dude trying to hook up with a chick? Is that what this is? Is this a dude trying to hook up with a chick? Or is it a chick trying to pretend to be a dude hooking up with a chick? Fuck! I hate this timeline so much. I fucking hate this. Jesus.
You tell people exactly what they want to hear, though.
DeSears admits to the OMG citizen journalist American Swiper, you kind of tell a donor just what they want to hear. You just put on a performance for them, a little show, right?
Do you feel like our strategy has always been just take their money and tell them what they want to hear?
Yeah, that's politics.
That's what?
That's politics.
That's politics? So we just take their money and we smile and nod our head, but we don't really take their opinions into our strategy?
100%.
So basically we're just feeding into their fantasy.
Yeah. Which, you ever met a rich person?
No.
That's their MO.
What?
They want their fantasy to be, fed. You just put on a performance for them, a little show, right? Judith Butler calls this phantasm.
Phantasm.
Yeah, it's this kind of cognitive dissonance of just imagining something that truly isn't.
So some donors are holding back on writing.
I wish that I could go back to just last week I was sick. I wish I could just go back to being sick and I just died from it after. I would rather have just died than look at this person or listen to this person anymore. Just take me out of my misery. It wasn't worth it. I want to go back to being sick and then just take me out because it's not worth it to sit here and listen to and look at this fucking freak.
The checks because they think that the campaign's not doing well. Why would they think that?
I don't know, a lot of people think we should attack Trump more.
We should attack Trump more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like our strategy has always been just take their money and tell them what they want to hear?
Yeah, that's politics.
So there you have it. DeSears sings like a canary about how he uses facades to play to donors' fantasies, utilizing deception. It's on full display over at the DNC. But it begs the question, what else is the DNC doing to trick their donors or voters? How many other people agree with this man? In fact, how many people disagree with him? Really? And why are they telling donors what they want to hear? Why aren't they telling them the truth? Why are they performing these bait and switch techniques? On top of all of this, our OMG American Swiper asked Joyce DeSears about President Biden and his struggles with donors, which corroborates reports in the media that have stated Biden was, in fact, struggling with campaign donations.
So do you think it was a mistake that President Biden agreed to debate Trump?
No, because I think it was a good thing on Biden's part because he would have had to debate Trump anyway, just politically. He would have had to.
I mean, I just imagine how he does in the debate's going to influence how donors decide whether they're going to continue to back him, right?
For sure. Yeah, we've had people who haven't wanted to give us money because they think the campaign is not doing well enough or Biden isn't being strong enough.
We reached out to the DNC for comment and to DeSears for comment, and we received this. Now, what's interesting is the DNC did try contacting our fearless OMG American Swiper, including sending her this postcard asking her not to do any more online swiping.
Uh-oh.
The postcard was in English and Chinese. We're not sure why they invoked an Asian racial undertone in contacting our journalist. They also made anonymous phone calls in the middle of the night. To her, this all happened as the publication date of our groundbreaking story on the DNC approached. It appears as though these are attempts to intimidate or try to stop this report from being aired. But here at OMG, we are undeterred, always holding those in power accountable. And once again, we extol the brave journalist, the virtues of this swiper who got this story. She's incredibly talented and courageous, and we're sending her a check for the story. And you can do the same. O'KeefeMediaGroup.com/swiper. Our staff is standing by. We'll get in touch with those who qualify and sign up on our website.
So let's go back one more time and listen to this last part.
It's not doing well. Why would they think that?
I don't know. A lot of people think we should attack Trump more.
We should attack Trump more.
Yeah.
And see, and that right there, that line right there is what I want to talk about, because it's Trump is all that matters. That's what I continue to try to say. Trump is all that fucking matters to them. Nothing else matters. This is why Kamala Harris is irrelevant right now. I'll fast forward to get this freak off here, but Kamala Harris is irrelevant right now. They're making you believe that Kamala Harris means something and that Kamala Harris is important. She means absolutely nothing. She means nothing. They will replace her in a minute if her polls start tanking. They will absolutely replace her. And that's what, like, they just told everybody for 3.5 years that Joe Biden was the most popular president in the history of our country. They just spent 3.5 years telling us that. And then in the snap of a finger, in one bad debate, they replaced Joe Biden, the most popular president in the history of our country. They will 1,000% get rid of Kamala Harris if they think that she can't beat Trump. They will absolutely fucking do it. Absolutely. So that's that I'm convinced of that at this point in time. They know she's not popular. They know she's not likable. They know people hate her guts. They know it. They absolutely know it. There's no way they can get around this, dude. There's no way. And I think that they have put her in this position a little too early, and they are trying everything they can to make this look like it's not as manufactured as it is, but it's 1,000% manufactured. 1,000%. I saw that we have some Get to Memberships too, and I really appreciate that. So hang on though, there's something else I want to show you guys if I can find it. There was a video that I had. Now it looks like Trump has accepted the debate challenge from Kamala Harris right here.
This got one of the worst records in anywhere. Well, Kamala, let's go. Challenge accepted. Are you ready? Let's compare our record point by point.
So I don't know if that was specific to a debate or if that was like him just saying like let's just go. You know what I mean? Also, this one right here, which I have not heard, I bookmarked it because Benny Johnson posted it.
Because everything about Kamala Harris rollout, it's phony and it's fake. Did you see when President Obama and Michelle called? Did you see? Hello? Hello? Yes. Yes. Who is this? Oh, this is Michelle and Barack. Oh. So surprised to hear. They got 4 cameras in front. Oh, I'm so surprised it's on speakerphone. Listen, we just want to congratulate you on destroying Joe Biden. I mean, on the winning the. Hey, is Joe Biden was that the phoniest phone call you've ever seen? How do you think, Dan? What do you think? Dan Muser, great congressman. What do you think? Was that a phony phone call? You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't get away in your district. You wouldn't get away with it, would you? Because everything
is absolutely a phony phone call. It was pathetic. It was pathetic to watch how that whole thing played out, and for people to buy in. Like, I don't know. I don't truly know anyone that believed that it was real, but you had a lot of the leftists sitting there celebrating it when it happened. And let's see. I love it. So right here, you've got Antonio Brown has been on it. So right here, Antonio Brown put this out. They think we stupid.
So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black
I
woman. She went to a
respect
historically
either
black
one.
college.
Okay, so what we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are
Yes,
Indian.
yes.
So we're both Indian.
Yes.
But actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Dude, Antonio Brown has been absolutely crushing it lately. It's been great to see. And he's really upsetting the left big time. And Antonio Brown's kind of like, they just ignore Antonio Brown because they can't do anything with him. They can't. He's not going to listen to anything they say, and they know that. So they won't even talk about him. They won't even mention him. That's the funniest part. Here's some comments from Vivek with the whole Kamala thing. Here we go.
All right. Vivek, I want to give you a chance to react to that. No doubt it's going to get attention. It already is.
Yeah, so look, on a very personal level, my parents were immigrants to this country, legal immigrants from southern India, very same part of India that her mother also immigrated from. I think it's a hard fact, Martha, it's just a fact, whether you like it or not, that many Indian Americans in the United States are indeed somewhat offended by the way Kamala has suddenly cast aside the Indian American side of her identity. She leaned into it when she ran for office in California, big Asian American and Indian American population. So she wore that when it was convenient. She's wearing a different identity now when it's politically convenient on a national stage. Personally, I don't think we should be relying on these ethnic identities at all. We're actually American. And the problem is when you're Kamala Harris and you actually do lean into your identity politics, then you open the door to that type of criticism. But if you ask me, that shouldn't be how this election is decided one way or another. It should be decided on our own identity as Americans and what our vision is for the future of the country. And the number one thing missing in Kamala Harris's candidacy is that she lacks that vision for the country. That's what we got to focus on.
Okay.
He's 1000% correct. I saw this one as well, and this kind of puts it just into perspective about Trump's appearance today.
Donald Trump went into the Lion's Den in front of the Black Journalists Convention and came out a big winner.
Yes.
And that's the subject of the riff. Donald Trump went into the Lion's Den today with a sit-down in front of the National Association of Black Journalists in Chicago. Kamala Harris was also invited, but she was a no-show. No doubt about it, however, Mr. Trump has gotten his swag back. One of the questioners was ABC reporter Rachel Scott, who opened the Q&A by attacking Trump, and he just fought back, telling her how rude she was after all. He showed up on time. They started 35 minutes late because their audio equipment failed. And after that, he thought Kamala would be there, and she wasn't. And he then called the event false advertising. Donald Trump.
Dude, Trump has just been killing it lately, man. So I think this was a big win. I know the left is going to try everything they can to manipulate and twist this story, but it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. And I'm going to keep repeating, they were late. What's up, Gary? They were, yeah, like, and there was another story that I wanted to show really quick. This is insane, okay? Look, this is the story they want to go away. New Trump assassination video destroys Secret Service narrative. Shooter Thomas Crooks can be seen clearly lurking on the rooftop minutes before the shooting. The Secret Service has held that snipers could not see him over the roof line. This is false. And as you see it right here, look at that. So the video's kind of grainy, but you can see it right there. You know, and I know we talked about this, but like Trump will not call out the Secret Service, and I think that that's a smart move. I don't think he can call the Secret Service out at this point in time, because I don't think that he knows who he can or can't trust at this point in time. I don't know how the man, like, honestly, somebody made the comment that when Trump stole the water bottle, it's because he doesn't trust the water bottle they had sitting next to him, so he stole her water bottle. That actually makes sense. I don't know how he eats food. I don't know how he shakes people's hands. I don't know how he makes any moves whatsoever right now. I have no idea how he does anything. It's scary as fuck. And I went to an outdoor event in South Florida for a Trump rally. And I remember this was like, what was this, last year, I think. Last year. And I remember looking around and I'm like, there's so much open area for if someone wanted to do something. But in my mind, I was like, that's not going to happen. It's not really going to happen. But the reality of it is it could have happened. And who knows? There could have been somebody out there right then and there going to try something. The Secret Service wasn't going to catch him, or maybe the Secret Service is involved in it. The same fucking government that raided Mar-a-Lago, yet Trump's supposed to be trusting them with his life? Scary times, man. Scary, scary times indeed. So we just got to keep our eye on stuff like that because there's no telling, man. There's no telling. Is this another one? No, that's the same one. It looks like the Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, these Judge Joe Brown videos. I got to follow Judge Joe Brown. You know, I don't do the whole guest thing, but I might have to get Judge Joe Brown on Cobra Cast. I mean, that would be a damn good Cobra Cast. That would be a damn good one right there. Let me go. I'm going to follow Judge Joe Brown right now over on Twitter. All right, followed. And then looks like his DMs are open. So I might reach out and see if that'd be a hell of a show right there, man. That'd be a hell of a show. All right. Tinhead says, Andro Arian, holy shit. Mark Creation Studio says, you got to invite Mr. Brown to FNT or Cobra Cast. Look at there. Just said that. East Coast Toasted Boy says, a tube of lube. Piano Dean says, what's in Kamala's purse? Willie Brown mayo. Yeesh. Keck Lord says, how has this not destroyed her yet? Pedo in chief or Ho in chief? Yeah, I think it will. Josie says, hey, Jeremy, look up on YouTube Judge Joe Brown talking about what Al Sharpton did with James Brown in a restroom in LA in the 60s. Bro, man, I gotta get this guy on. Elite Neo says, Judge Joe Brown for Supreme Court. How old is he now? Keck Lord says, allegedly. So was there a James O'Keefe thing? Yeah. So I just reacted to it. Dude Man says CNN uploaded a Kamala Harris response to Trump at the NABJ. Modalicious says they'll drop Kamala in favor of Al Gore. Let's see. Lands, I don't know how to say it. Zachness says part of me, I think I messed your name up before. I'm not going to do it this time, but part of me believes that they will replace Kamala. But the other part of me believes that the Dem establishment are too evil and selfish to try or to destroy their careers going up against Trump like Hillary. Kamala may be the fall guy. I mean, I don't think I've heard people making that argument. I don't think that the Democrats, I don't think that they are willing to let Trump win. I think that they will do anything to stop Trump. Absolutely anything. They're not going to go, Trump's got this one in the bag. We need to pack it up. I don't think that they have the ability to think like that. I really don't. I hear the theory, but I do not think that they have the ability to do that. Make 7 says, this is your reward for getting rid of Shamu. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bird Up says, I don't expect they'll go with anyone but Kamala. She checks enough intersectional boxes, so replacing her would be a bad look to their base. I don't think their base cares. That's the like. There's this idea that they care, but they don't really care. Look how quickly they moved on from Joe Biden. Look how quickly they moved on from the most popular president in the history of our country. They will drop Kamala. Nobody fucking likes Kamala Harris. Nobody. Trust me. Jeremy S. Gay says, can Beardo go hogging with the Olympic person? What is this profile picture? JM Elliott says, Kennedy is stepping down per Gary. Oh, is that what it was? There was like a Kathleen Kennedy joke there. Escapo says, Beardo fat. Ryan Trujillo says, let's see Suma that Luna tuna. Anna Paulina Luna bikini pic go. Anna Paulina Luna is hot, okay? Hot. No doubt about it. Maximus BT says, where are my breeds at? Lower Lips Liquor says, there are reports that Camel Toe Harris campaign was paying the people $150 to show up at the rally. That's amazing. Somebody's got to do some undercover work to find out if they're actually doing that. A lad who ate 4 dozen eggs says, dude looks like a lady. 3 for $10 says, he, him. Are you sure about that, Joyce? P.S. I'm team weird. Hell yeah, me too. Let me see. Raylo Lover says, well, maybe if you can't tell who they are, you should not assume their gender. Raylo Lover. Raylos are weird. Maximus BT says, looks like Eugene Levy and Peter Jackson had a gay love child. Oh my God, that's terrible. There's Carl's first time super chatter. Thank you. John's $100 super chat. Keck Lord says, never mind on the OMG comment. No, all good, brother. AA Ron says, just got home from the JD rally in Phoenix. Checking us in was a 5'4", 170-pound Secret Service agent. Inside there was a 5'6", 120 white agent, but at least she was hot. I can appreciate that you at least, even though you didn't feel safe, you were like, at least she was hot. I appreciate that. 50 Shades of Grayson says, that's Trey Parker in a wig and fat. River Miles says, you are the last man on earth. Joyce or Big Abby Pump for the human race. We're all fucking dead. All right, it's over. Human race ends. I will take joy in it. Mr. Bunglewood 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. You guys have been incredibly generous tonight, and I really appreciate it. T-Funk says, looks like Peter Griffin went Transformer. Grant Potato says, I know who I am. I'm a dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. 3 for 10 says, Kamala is the first person backed to run for president without ever winning a single vote, nor being officially nominated. 15 million voters just told shut up. Fighting the Borg is futile. You're 100% correct. It's when you actually think about what has happened, it's truly insane. Yet here we are. Fantastic vs. Knox says, so this is a guy with a name that's usually used by females, yet uses male pronouns, but they say they're the same ones. Make it make sense. Dude, that was confusing as hell to me, too. Wolverine Schnick MAGA 2024, thank you. Carl says, I'm confused, too, as to whether this is a dude trying to be a woman or a woman trying to be a dude. I'm glad I wasn't the only one, man. It was kind of messing with me. I have Meme says 6'3", 215, 47th. Bird Up says the DNC knows that Kamala is unpopular. That's why they have their propaganda wing in the media and paid influencers astroturfing on her behalf. Shaker Maker says, my president, Trump, the debates will be legendary. 8 o'clock says, need a meme of Kamala dropping the Indian label and Andy dropping Woody. Samuel B says, Vivek is going to be the 2028 Republican presidential nominee, calling it now. I could see that. Mr. Bungle says, first super chat here. Now put some put Jeremy fave on my profile pic chin so he has bigly eyebrows. Hail the 199. I agree with Jay. Keep up the good fight. Speaking the truth always wins in the end. Common sense. Thank you. And is Jay here? Did I see Drunk 3PO here? Drunk 3PO always showing up in the Cobra Cast chat, mainly because everybody loves him here and he likes it when you guys cheer him on. Jim Partial says Democrats will not run the person who can win. They will run the person whom they can most plausibly steal the election from Trump. Thanks again. Not a bad take right there. Sam says your top 10 Super Mario Brothers 3 worlds, your top 10 Mario Brothers games. Are you a fan of the B Mushroom Super Bros power up? I do like the B power up from Galaxy. That's the rest of those questions. That's a lot. Like top 10 Super Mario 3 worlds, top 10 Mario Brothers games. I'll give you my top 5 Mario Brothers games mainline Mario Brothers games. Super Mario World first, Super Mario Galaxy, the first one, second, Galaxy 2, third, Super Mario 3, fourth, and Super Mario Odyssey, fifth. There you go. I've started to like Odyssey more and more as time has gone on, but Galaxy is the best 3D game. What did Gary say? Let's see what Gary said. I'm trying to go back up. Oh, Drunk 3PO 100K in 2027. Subscribe to Drunk 3PO, everybody. Subscribe to Drunk 3PO. Over on Rumble, PJ says, it is Megan the Stallion, you racist. Not the first time I've been called racist. Certainly won't be the last time. Thank you, PJ. Vault 95 says, our pirate enthusiast is almost there. Get gay to 100J. Vault 95 says, is Tim Pool in charge of these women's audio or just as employees since they can't multi-share audio? Trump 199 2024. Johnny the Witskin says, show James O'Keefe's latest video exposing the DNC manager saying he doesn't believe Kamala Harris would win and admits to empty promises to donors. I ate Jimmy John's for the first time. Love it. B+. I have never had Jimmy John's. Never had Jimmy John's. But yeah, we did play that. And we are at the end, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been a banger tonight. You guys have been incredible as always. I really appreciate it. So we're going to wrap it up there. I've got videos to make for Geeks and Gamers. I've got stuff to cover over there. I probably need to make some videos for this channel as well, so I'll try to upload a couple of videos to this channel. But yeah, there's just a lot going on in the world of pop culture, the internet world, the video game world, the political world. There's all types of shit. Mr. Bungle becomes a new member. Thank you, Mr. Bungle. Appreciate that. And thank you for your first ever super chat and those 5 gifted memberships. John, thank you for all the big $100 super chats. Willie, Will, thank you for the 50s, guys. You guys are insane. Solo Boxer says, this dude's gender equals unburdened by what has been. Thank you. God, I really believe that the more that time goes on, the more unlikable she will show to the general public. I truly believe that. I am a little worried that the machine has gotten behind her so much, but I truly believe that she is so dumb and unlikable that will ultimately show when it's all said and done, especially in a debate with Trump. Trump's going to be Trump. He's always going to be Trump. And if they have a debate, it's going to make her look really bad. So, but yeah, so another Cobra Cast in the books, Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow. Then we got Friday Night Tights. We've got Geeks and Gamers Daily again on Friday. We got Cobra Cast on Friday. We got a lot going on. Videos like crazy. So thank you guys. You guys are the best. I really appreciate all of you. I'm going to work on getting Kick working with StreamYards. I don't know why I can't get Kick working. But I do like running my streams through StreamYards. It's a little bit easier to manage instead of doing everything through OBS and capturing and the way that I do it the other way. I know everything probably looks better, but I think it runs better this way. But thank you guys. Trump 2024 to save America. Make sure you are going out there supporting President Trump in any way you can. Being active on social media is very helpful right now. As I said, with like Cat Turd's tweet when he responded to the AP and their lies, like all you can do is show the truth. They're going to be scrubbing everything. They're going to be scrubbing all of this stuff with Kamala and her saying that she's an Indian American. They're going to be scrubbing all of that now because Trump has exposed it, and they can't have Trump being proven right. So they're going to be scrubbing it. They're going to be going after anybody that's showing it. But luckily, we have Twitter, we have Rumble, and there's not a lot of censorship going on. There is some, but you know. But for the most part, Twitter is a place where you can actually get the truth out there. So you guys have a good night. Really appreciate all of you. And let's see. I got to go to the ending screen. So we're going to put the ending screen up. I hope you guys have a great night. Love you all. And we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone. No, I'm not playing Fortnite tonight, Dark Intelligence. I want to, but I got to get videos made. Ryan's going to get mad at me if I don't make videos. So blame Ryan if I'm not playing Fortnite. Or you can blame the current season of Fortnite because I'm really kind of bored with it. So I'm waiting for the new update. But I'll see you guys later. More videos to Geeks and Gamers. Bye. And another super chat comes in. Damn it. Hang on. Carl says, I literally thank God for protecting Trump and helping him through all of these persecutions. Also, I would love to see MAGA become a non-corrupt party someday. 1,000%. MAGA is the party. MAGA 1,000% is the party. Like the Republican Party does not exist without MAGA right now. That's just the truth of it. John becomes a new member. Look at there, John. Thank you for becoming a new member. And by the way, I don't play the Sabaton on the YouTube side because of copyright. Those copyrights are going to start piling up. Coop says, Jeremy forgot my super. You're lying, Coop. You've done that way too many times. It's Kind of Magic. Again, happy birthday to you. It's Kind of Magic. Hope you had a great birthday. But yeah, blame the YouTube copyright system. And because I'm running it through StreamYards, I don't really know how to stop streaming on StreamYards, so I can't run it on Rumble now, but I'll check to see how I can stop it on YouTube, and then I can play it on Rumble. So I can do that in the future. I just can't do it right now. But thank you guys. Appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you all on Geeks and Gamers and here on D-Day Cobra and all the other places we have stuff going on. So have a great night, Trump 2024, and we will talk to you later. Bye.